Well, it is a discussion every couple has to have at some point. Is someone going to stay home with the baby? If the answer is yes, then comes this part. And it's not always an easy discussion. Who gives up their career for at least a few years, sometimes, to stay home with the kids? Eric Yaney made that decision with his wife, who's a top executive at Red Hat, a software company here in Atlanta. And he joins us here with us this morning. Eric, it's good to have you here. Thanks for coming on and kind of sharing your story. I appreciate it. What was that conversation like? Who decided to keep their job and who was going to be the stay-at-home parent?
It was actually a fairly quick conversation. I had the opportunity to stay home for a year before going back to work for a year. So when we decided I was going to stay home full-time, it was easy for me because I knew exactly what I was getting into. And based on career trajectory, it made sense for Jackie to be the one working.
And how has that worked out for you? How has that worked out for you guys as your wife going on to work every day and you're staying at home raising the kids?
It's been great. Over 13 years, it's evolved. My initial job was basically take care of the kids, make sure that nothing happens, and if I can squeeze in some household chores, that'd be great.
And you succeeded at those things on the to-do list.
Yeah, she didn't fire me. So.
I like that. Listen, society would say your case is not the usual. It's not the norm, right? Have you ever been out, or have you ever maybe gotten flack from your friends saying, hey, yo, Dad, you've got it pretty easy. Your wife goes to work, earns all the money, and you get to stay at home?
Sure. They think I go and play golf all day.
Right.
And, you know, it's a cushy life. I sit home, watch TV, and eat bonbons, but you know, that's not the case.
What would you say to other fathers out there, who think you have it easy, and who may think that their wife at home as a mom raising the children has it easy?
I think for anybody that's going to stay home as a parent, they need to accept that as their job and embrace it. I think there's too many dads that maybe lost their job and are staying home and it's not their choice. So even if it's not your choice, you need to say, okay, this is what I'm doing, and I need to make sure that I do it as best as I can, just like you would any other job. So whether it's the mom or the dad, you know, this is what you do, and you do it as hard as you can, as best as you can, and hopefully it's the right thing.
Was there ever jealousy as far as your wife having all this success, you as a man back at home with the kids? Was there ever any jealousy that, oh, man, my wife's doing really well at work? I kind of miss that, and maybe that's what I want, because I would just assume at some point, in some way, those feelings would come up.
Sure, and it does, and not necessarily my jealousy of her success, but just of what she's doing, being able to just go off to work and be with the people and that type of thing. So I have to find other ways to do that, whether it's volunteering at school or something like that. And of course, she's jealous of me being at home, getting to spend that time with the kids.
Right.
So, but we work through all that, and we realize why we're doing it, and just keep going back to the decisions, and we know it's still the right decision.
All right. So these articles have been written, and people are now talking about women in the workforce, women being CEOs of companies, women being able to have families at the same time. In your opinion, in your own journey, in your own experiences, do you think that women can, quote, have it all?
Sure. I think they can do as much as they want, and it just depends on if they want to just make a checklist that says, great job, husband, family, active in the community, run a marathon. They can put on that list whatever they want and get it done, but they have to realize that they're not doing it by themselves. Just like it'd be the same answer for a man. He can't do all that without the support at home. So whether it's the mom staying at home or the dad staying at home, it's definitely a team effort.
There's this talk of being able to balance, right? That if you are going to be successful as a mom, as a parent, and as a CEO, you've got to have the life skill of just being able to balance. Would you say that your wife has that ability to sort of balance it all?
Absolutely. And it's just a matter of prioritizing, because every minute you spend doing one aspect of whatever's on that list is a minute you're not doing one of the other things. And she's been really good about, over the years, carving out the time. Like she, almost without exception, will not work on the weekends. That's family time. So I make sure that I get my job done with the kids, the groceries, the laundry during the week. So when we're home as a family over the weekend, we're not doing errands and going to the store and things like that. We're spending it as a family, whether it's on the soccer field, which we usually do, or taking a trip or whatever happens to be.
All right, you've been a stay-at-home dad for how many years now?
13.
13 years. You've got 3 kids. What ages again?
19, 16, and 13.
19, 16, and 13. And I was asking you earlier, the wife kind of giving you the, hey, 13-year-old is going to soon be 13, 14, and 15. Maybe stay-at-home dad isn't going to be your title for too much longer.
Right. Yeah, I don't think I'll be going back into the same type of job that I did before, but definitely I will be looking for something.
And it could be exciting for you too, right? Kind of being able
absolutely.
to transition back into that part of your life.
Right, and we started having kids young, knowing that they're going to be integral to our whole career plan and life plan. So I'll be going back into the workforce, relatively young.
All right, Eric Yaney, you say you can, that women can have it all.
Sure.
Just got to have the balance and the communication, which obviously you and your wife do, raising 3 kids, you being a stay-at-home dad and being somehow able to not have to run errands and do all the chores come the weekend time and actually spend time with the family. That is key. Thank you for sharing your story. I appreciate that. Stay with us. We'll be right back right after the break.